Hey guys, what's up? It's Savannah. Okay, hi, hands. Hey guys, what's up? Hey guys, what's up? It's Savannah. Welcome back to my channel.
Baby, won't you be my...
Alright, so let's back up a bit. So I think it was like 2 weeks ago maybe. Chrissy Teigen tweeted out on Twitter, because where else would you tweet? She tweeted out something like, ask me questions that you've always wanted to know about celebrities and I will tell you. So people asked her about red carpet events and security and dinners and the ins and outs basically of being a celebrity and all the things that people would really like to know. Then a couple days after that, Chris Clemens made a video basically calling it, I think it was like answering your burning questions about being a YouTuber. He made that video. Then there is a YouTuber that I follow who I absolutely adore. Her name is Smokey Glow here on YouTube. So she created one of those for kind of smaller creators, and I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle. I really don't like saying that because I really don't like hyping myself up like that, but we're here, so this is just what we're gonna call it. I feel like why not just put my 2 cents into it that nobody asked for. So I asked you guys on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, at Savannah Brimer, let's go. Come on, keep up. I said, I'm filming a video answering your burning questions on the life of a YouTuber. Ask away. And you guys had a lot of questions. Do you regret something you have done on YouTube? Not really. I feel like for the most part, I've kept it very authentic and real with you guys, good and bad. And I don't regret it because I feel like when I look back on my channel and look back on the videos that I have created, it's a part of life. It's like going through the ups and the downs. So I feel like sharing with you guys those ups and downs. For the most part, I do keep a lot of things private, but for the most part, sharing the big ups and downs with you guys, it's a part of life. I don't regret anything that I have shared with you guys on YouTube. No. Do you feel like the people in your life treat you any differently because you're online? All right, let's start here. The friends that I have, the majority of them I knew before I created a YouTube channel. So I don't really have a lot of friends that I've met after I've created a channel. Now, does that mean that every person that meets me treats me differently? No. Have there been a few that have? Yes. And it's easy to point that out. After a while, you just kind of know. It's kind of like my theory on fuckboys, right? Like if it looks like a fuckboy, if it walks like a fuckboy, if it talks like a fuckboy, probably a fuckboy. So if it looks like a user, talks like a user, walks like a user, probably a user. Does that make sense? I'm just saying, a bitch is just trying to wonder what your current Starbucks drink is. All right, so my current Starbucks drink is a grande iced coffee with half and half, 2 pumps of sugar-free vanilla, 2 pumps of sugar-free peppermint. There you go. How do you receive PR in the mail when you're just starting out? So usually how PR will work is that a company will typically reach out to you. This is just how I've experienced it, which mind you, this whole thing is just how I've experienced it. This is just my experience doing my own thing here. Most times companies will reach out to you and say that they want to send you their products or send you something that they want you to try out, and they ask for your address, and that is that. If there's a company that you really like and that you really want to try out, sometimes you can reach out to them. I've never done that, but I've heard people do that and it works sometimes. So if you have a company that you're really into and you want to reach out and be like, hey, I really love your products, yada, 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 I would love to test them out, or maybe like show them on my page or my channel or whatever it is, you can do that too. Does being a YouTuber ever get annoying? I think any job, because you have to look at it as a job. This is a job. This is my job. That's a big question here is, do I have another job other than this? No, this is my job. I have my podcast, Killer Instinct. If you don't know, it's a true crime podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subtle plug. But every job has its ups and downs. You really have to have a thick skin. You're putting yourself out there to be judged on the daily. You're constantly getting judged by how you look and how you talk and what you wear, and why I say it's 2:30 p.m. when it's dark outside. If you've watched my Kardashian video, you already know. So I would say that's the most like annoying part, because no one's perfect, and that's really what the struggle is, because even though people put themselves online, they're still human, and I feel like I am so freaking normal. And so putting yourself out there to constantly be judged is really difficult at times, but the benefit of that, having people who support you and love you and being able to create content that you love, beats any person online who would never say what they're saying over the computer to my face. And I know that for a fact. How do YouTubers get paid? Do you get paid by views, by subscribers, or by ads? So basically how this works is you do not get paid by subscribers. Let's start there. Subscribers, you do not get paid by. Subscriber count does help when it comes to getting sponsorships, because if brands see that you do have a decent amount of subscribers and a decent amount of people following you and supporters, that could be a factor as to whether or not they want to work with you, because they see that you have a following. But how YouTubers get paid is by views, and more specifically by ads. So if a YouTuber is putting multiple ads in their video, each time an ad is being played, they are getting paid. And that's just assuming that the video is monetized. If it's not monetized, whole different story. But if it is monetized, every time an ad is played, a YouTuber is getting paid. It's a very small percentage. That is why the more views you have, the more money you are getting paid. There's also CPM p.m., which is like a whole different thing. But for the most part, it is by views and by ads. How many hours do you put in a week? This honestly just depends. Right now, I'm taking a break from my podcast. I'm taking a 2-week break and then getting back into it. So right now, my workload feels very, very minimal to what it usually is, just because I'm not putting in all those research hours at the moment. I'm giving myself a holiday break to kind of like cleanse my mind. For the most part, I work 6, sometimes 7 days a week. I'm a workaholic when it comes to that. When I'm not working, I get really, really stressed over the fact that I'm not working, which is why this holiday break has been very odd, because I have spent time with my family and friends. And so it is really weird for me to like not be working 24/7, but I love to work. And I work probably like 6 or 7 days a week. It is typically the same hours as someone would work, like a 9 to 5, but my hours are later just because I work better that way. So instead I'll probably do like 10 to 6. And in that time, I'm filming, I'm editing, I'm researching, I'm recording my podcast. Like there's just a lot that goes into it. I'm answering emails, Instagram living, taking pictures. Like it's a whole thing. Okay, this question was asked a lot, and that was, how often do I get recognized in public? So when I look at the background and the analytics of my channel, I'm able to see that a lot of you don't live in California, which is where I live. A lot of y'all live on the East Coast, Midwest, but I still have met a decent amount of you in California. Let's talk about something real quick. I need to address something. So I don't know why this happens, but it does. Like I said, I feel like I live a relatively normal life until one of you come up to me and say hi. Then it like really hits me that like you watch me online. It's like a whole crazy mind thing that happens. But I love when you guys come up and say hi, and I can put a face to a name, and we can talk, and it's great, and I love it. This is what I don't like. This is what gives me anxiety. And I'm gonna tell you just because I don't like it. I get a lot of messages, more often than you would think. People will DM me saying that they saw me somewhere and they were too afraid to come up and say hi. And here's the thing, like I understand that that can be like a weird, like intimidating thing. Like for me, I'm so normal. Like I hate to be the YouTuber that's like, I'm so normal. So to hear you guys say that you were too afraid to come up and say hi is like so mind blowing to me. The reason it freaks me out is because once I see that one of you like saw me out somewhere and like didn't say anything, is because I'm so paranoid, okay? I'm a very paranoid person. So I then go in my mind and I'm like, oh my God, someone saw me out and they didn't say hi and I didn't even notice. In my mind, I know that might not make a lot of sense and like it might sound a little crazy, but if you do see me, please do come up and say hi. I do get recognized much more when I'm not in California. Like when I'm in the South, I go down to Nashville all the time. So when I'm in the South or when I'm in New York, anywhere like that. That was like a really long answer, I'm sorry. How does living a portion of your life online affect your personal life? This is actually a very good question, because I found that more so recently, in probably the past like 6 months to a year, I have been very careful, if that makes sense. And not even because I really have a reason to be, because like I said, I'm not like David Dobrik out here like doing my thing. I'm not trying to sit here and be like, I'm the biggest and the baddest, because that's just not the case. But I will say that I've noticed that what I post online, I'm a lot more careful about. What I say, I'm a lot more careful about. When I'm hanging out with friends, or if I'm going out with friends or at bars or whatever, like I'm much more cautious about what I post. I don't really know why. I think because I just like keeping certain things to myself, because I do feel like I live a very big part of my life online. So I do like to control certain things because I'm a Capricorn and I'm a control freak. But the person you see on camera is the same person that I am with my family and my friends and the people who know me off camera. So that's not different, but I am more cautious. So there's that. Or do the people that you used to talk to or went to school with talk shit about you making videos? It's always a topic of conversation, always. People love to bring it up and people love to be like, I watched your story time, or they knew who I was talking about in my story time. Like everyone that I went to school with could probably say that they knew who I was talking about in my story times. It's not rocket science. Like when I do see people that I either went to school with or that I knew before YouTube, they do like to talk a lot about my videos. Not necessarily even talk shit, because what can they really say? Like at this point, you know, sorry. But yeah, I mean, they do love to bring it up. What is the worst part professionally and personally? And I think that this goes hand in hand. I think it's the same thing for both. Being criticized and judged for every little single thing you do. Like just where I'm at now, like I can't even imagine the people with millions of subscribers. I can't even imagine being a mom on YouTube. I don't know how y'all do it. Like props to you. People judge you over everything. I'll get comments saying that like my makeup has personally affected you. Like no, it didn't. Like, and if it did, seek help. Like, you know, it's weird putting yourself out there to be judged about everything. Like I said, the payoff and the reward is way greater than the judgment that you're getting. But everyone on this platform is human to a certain degree. You're lying if you say that the hate never affects contacted you just once. Why do you only do sponsored videos now? I don't. I can almost promise you that most people on YouTube will tell you this. AdSense, all sorts of whack, all sorts of messed up. Like having one stream of income and like one source of income is never a great idea. So if I were to only rely on AdSense, right? So let's just say that, like if I was only to rely on AdSense for money, not a good idea for many reasons. One being AdSense's algorithm is all sorts of messed up. Second reason being you just want more streams of income. The more streams of income you can have, the better. I do try to separate my sponsorships up so they're not all back to back to back, but at the same time, this is a job and I love it. And I'm so freaking blessed to be able to say that I love my job and I personally think the best job in the world. But in that sentence, this is a job and I need to make money. I know so many YouTubers say this and it's like really annoying, but I would never shove a product in y'all's faces if I truly didn't love it and if I didn't believe in it. Like I'm just not about that. And a big thing that comes with that is the playlist videos. You guys love playlist videos and I love making them. Playlist videos aren't monetizable. Playlist videos get copyrighted. I get questions about that all the time, is how do I make playlist videos without getting copyrighted? I don't. They get copyrighted. I don't make money from them. As much as I love doing them, at the consistency that I do make those videos, it is important for me to sometimes throw a sponsor in there. That way I am making some money off of the video that I'm posting. Just think about it. If you were to put your time and hard work and effort into creating something, you would want to be compensated for that. And so to not be compensated for that, it's okay sometimes. But because I do playlist videos so often, I need to make money. What advice would you give to someone just starting out? I would say to keep going. Consistency is key. You really can only grow. And as long as you're being real and doing what you love and being genuine, that will come across. And don't do something just because you think it'll get you followers or clout or whatever. That's so dumb. Do it because you love it. And because of that, you'll create real connections for the people who watch your videos. That's what I would say. What is it like working with brands and how does that whole dynamic work? This is a really good question. So typically how sponsorship works is a brand will reach out to you through your email. Sometimes it'll be a DM, but mainly for me, it's through emails. And in that email, they will tell you about the product that they want you to promote, and then they'll say what they'll give you. Sometimes that's a free product, sometimes that's compensation. So you and a brand will negotiate on a price. Typically a creator will have specific rates as to the type of promotion that they are going to provide. Whether that is a fully dedicated video, so the entire video is just talking about their specific product, which is typically the most expensive promotion that you could purchase. The second one is an integration. So that could be a 60-second, a 2-minute, a 3-minute, 5-minute, whatever. And those prices will vary as well. Or you could do Instagram shout outs, like a feed post or a story post, things like that. So you'll give your rates, the brand will kind of get back to you on as to what they want, and they'll usually try to lowball you, and that's when you have to be like, haha, no. And you kind of got to negotiate and work through that a little bit. So there's that. So then if you do agree on a price, you'll talk about a video idea, you'll create the video, send it to them before you upload it, they'll approve it, then you can upload it, then they pay you. That's how that works. Have you ever been in a scary or awkward or uncomfortable fan situation? I really haven't. I am really lucky to have such an amazing group of, I don't like to call y'all fans because you're not fans, supporters and friends. Like I've created so many great friendships through this as well. So I've never been in an uncomfortable situation or one that I was like scared or whatever. More often than not, when y'all walk away, I'm like, oh my God, I was so awkward. Like I feel so awkward and I don't know how to stop it. When you guys come up to me, like I'm so excited and I'm like internally screaming because I'm so happy to like see you and put a face to a name and all that, the awkwardness comes over me. So if you've ever met me and you're like, she's really awkward, I'm so sorry. Like it's just, I don't know what happens. Hopefully I get better at it. If I don't, then we're just gonna have to live with it. But yeah. Is it true that all YouTubers just take brand deals for the money without actually trying the product? The big brand sponsorships that you see go through videos a lot, like EDU Birdie, I think was one. Like, do you think YouTubers are actually going and writing essays and whatever? I don't really even know what that brand is, but you think that YouTubers are like writing essays? No. And then there was that game, like that app, like Candy Crush or something like that. Best Fiends, that's what it was. I would love to see the percentage of the amount of YouTubers that kept Best Fiends on their phone after that sponsorship was done. How can you stand here in your own voice? When I try to film, I always cringe because of my voice. Yo, I feel this. Whenever anyone plays one of my videos in front of me, I can't do it. Like, I'm like, can you turn it off? Like, watch it later, watch it when I'm not here. And it's not because I'm embarrassed about what I said. I still stand by what I said. It's because I don't want to hear my own voice. Like, there's that. But at the same time, you just kind of get used to it and you're like, all right, well, whatever. I was just given this voice. Did you feel awkward when starting out? So basically how I started out is I recorded a bunch of videos before I ever even posted one online. So I actually got very comfortable in front of the camera and talking to a camera and the whole thing. Like, I can't even imagine if I posted my first video that I ever filmed online. So I definitely just say, like, practice a couple times. Get comfortable with the camera, get comfortable with the message that you want to get across. What is it like budgeting as a YouTuber? So this is really interesting because YouTubers don't have set pays. If you work a job, like for example, when I worked at a tanning salon, I had a set pay. It was like $10 an hour. I was an assistant part-time at a tanning salon. It was $10 an hour. I could count up how much I was gonna make in my head based on my schedule for that week. And most people can do that with the jobs that they have. YouTube is very different because if you have a video that doesn't do well, or if you have several videos that don't do well, or let's say you have a video that does super well, it changes your pay for the month. And YouTubers get paid at the end of the month. We don't get paid weekly or every 2 weeks or anything like that. We get paid at the end of the month. End of the month to the middle of the month, depending on if you're with a network or if you're not with a network or whatever. And networks are a whole different thing. If you guys want a video all about the tea on YouTube networks, let me know because I'm very lucky because right now I'm still living at home with my parents, and so I am able to save a decent amount of money up for when I do move out. You're not guaranteed anything financially. You're not guaranteed a specific paycheck. You're not guaranteed a specific amount that you're gonna get at the end of the month. It really is kind of up to the viewers if a video does well or if it doesn't. Is it awkward or weird that people you went to school with might talk about you or see you? You get over it real freaking quick because people are going to talk about you regardless. They'd be talking about me whether I did YouTube or I didn't do YouTube. Do they probably talk about me more because I do make videos online? I do reference people in my story times? Yes, probably. Do I care though? No. How often do you read comments? Okay, so I don't know if you all notice this, but I like basically every single comment besides hate comments. Sometimes I'll like a hate comment just if I'm really feeling it that day, but for the most part, I like every single comment, and that's because I read every single comment. Does that mean I can comment back to every single comment? No, but I do go through and I like every single comment. So yeah, I read them all. How much different is a YouTuber's life than the normal person's? I personally think the only difference between my life and someone who has a regular job is the fact that I talk to a camera and that I post videos online and some people decide to watch them. That's really the only difference I feel like in my life. Would bigger YouTubers tell you differently? Probably, but that's really the only difference in my life. All right, you guys, that was the end of this video. I know we talked a lot about a lot of different things, but I hope this video was a little bit informative and helpful and kind of got you into the mind of what being a YouTuber is kind of like. With that being said, you guys, though, that is the end of this video. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name's Savannah. I make videos 3 days a week, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. You should subscribe and join the family. I love you guys so much, and I'll be back in a couple days with a brand new video. Bye, guys.